Hello everyone, Timely Matter here, back in another video. This time is at the Ferrari 296 GTB. This is my entry to the MCG Works video contest, and I wanted to create a mock that was really different from the stuff that you're normally used to from my channel. I have a lot of 8 and 9 wide build cars, or even some 9 to 9 build cars like my Bugatti Tourbillon. I wanted to go back to something that's a bit more simple in terms of its aesthetic, an 8 wide design, and also a production car, not like a super exclusive hypercar as well. And I finally chose the Ferrari 296 GTB a few months ago. So I've been working on this for months now, and I'm finally happy with this design. Some of it's inspired by the brick wheel. I'm going to talk about the design of the car itself in a bit. First, I want to show you this 1/64 scale model of the Ferrari 296 by Burago. I wanted to show you this because I want to show you what design features were important for me to capture in this car. So here at the front, we've got this kind of shark nose situation in the mouth, and you see how like the edges of the mouth sort of angled downwards like that. It's a very sort of aggressive expression on the car, despite the fact that the overall design of the car is actually quite clean. Flavio Manzoni, the Ferrari design director, describes the design of this car as clean and spare, and I can't agree more. I think the details are very subdued, and there's a lot of emphasis on the proportions of the car over additional details, additional vents, stuff like that. You can see at the front of the car we've got this little tooth as well in the center of the mouth, and when we look at the shape of the mouth, we can see this sort of edge that comes from the front edge of the headlights all the way to this little section here, and it goes straight across and then continues in one continuous line all the way to the next edge there. And that was an important section for me to capture in my car. So if I show you here, the way I've done it is I have this edge here, and I wanted a straight line to go all the way to this corner here and have the nose, the tip of the car, be too wide. So that's one of the differences between my car and some of the other Ferrari 296 MOCs out there. But the lights and this corner here, this upper corner of the mouth, is highly inspired by the brick wheel. I think he's done a fantastic job with capturing the sort of diamond shape of the headlights, which I'll show you here on the real car itself. So this section, this outer half, looks like a diamond, and the inner half is just a little strip. That is the daytime running light, and then right underneath that you've got, like I said before, this sort of cut at the edge of the mouth. And I think the way he's done it with this sort of sub-assembly is just really perfect in Lego scale, so I'm really happy with that. Another thing that was interesting at the front of the car is the fact that it has a split up splitter, because this piece here that I used to capture this sort of straight cut, I've mirrored it down there, but it's two plates thick, so I don't have any space to actually put in a continuous splitter. But interestingly enough, the real car also has a split splitter. I didn't do that on purpose, and I thought I'd have to compromise on it, but actually the real car has no carbon splitter in this front corner here, front section, so that was a happy accident. Now when we go to the center of the car, we can see the details are very subtle, like I said, and you've got this sort of curvature of the doors, which I think gives the car this sort of tubular look, which inspires or evokes the imagination of aerospace, like space shuttles, which have like a tubular chassis, airplanes, stuff like that. And I really like it. It just has this sort of, it just gives me a lot of imagination, I think. And this section here, this line, very simply leads into the intakes for the twin turbocharged V6, and you've got this straight line on top of the intake that leads into the rear wheel arch, which gives the car that muscle, and then just a continuous line leading to the end of the car as well. Now this is another important design that I wanted to capture. Again, this is similar to the brick wheels design, where he's used these curved pieces here, curved slopes to great effect. Like I said, giving that sort of tubular chassis look. I've just gone for a very simplistic mirror design to continue with that simplistic overall mock design. And here you can see that line that leads straight into the intake, and that intake is actually a 1x1 red brick which I've got from the Ferrari 812 Competizione set that came out a few years ago in the Speed Champions line as well. And then I've also used this tile here, this 1x1 quarter round tile, to blend the curvatures of the door design into the fender piece as well. And a big part of me of trying to develop a MOC that's simpler than my usual offering is just using this sort of very clean design style. I really like the work of MOC Atelier and JE Brickworks on Instagram as well. They have a completely different set of car choices to me, and they also have quite a different building style to me as well. And I kind of appreciate the fact that they've got these very nice clean designs, and I wanted to capture some of that in my own way, of course in a supercar, the type of cars that I really like. Now at the rear of the car, we can see here there are some design features that stand out to me. First of all, the classic Ferrari 3-pillar design. So you've got these 3 pillars here. So this section which goes all the way down, and then you've got this center red section here, right? And this here as well. This is a design that is continued from the 458, 488, SF90, even the LaFerrari. They all have these 3-pillar designs at the rear, and I'm not sure why they do it, but I think it's just very interesting and characteristic, so I wanted to capture that. To capture that sort of Ferrari DNA. When I make other Ferrari MOCs, I want the DNA to continue so that it's obvious that the cars are of the same bloodline. Now here as well, we have the central exhaust, similar to the Ferrari F80, of course sharing the same engine type, which is the twin-turbo V6. Then on the sides of the exhaust, you've got these negative spaces here in black, and then over that you've got this strip which has the 2 lights on either side, along with this black strip for the retractable spoiler. Now the rear is a very simple shape. It's like almost a straight cut. It's a very subtle curve, and then you've got the buttresses from the roof which lead into this section, which is this very odd shape. It's almost like a hexagon, except it's got this cutout here which makes it look kind of like a magnet, this kind of U shape, the horseshoe shape. And it's interesting because that's the glass for the car, right? This car has this sort of straight vertical cut that leads into the passenger compartment, so the engine bay cover is actually perfectly flat. And it's actually parallel to the ground, right? And so this allows you to look down and see the engine details. You've got the turbochargers up there that lead out to the exhaust, and if you can see, I think maybe the camera doesn't catch it, but there's also some wiring there to represent the wiring for the electric motors. And of course the turbocharger is the hottest part of the engine, so you've got this little red plate here with some gaps to have the heat extraction out of the hottest section of the powertrain. And this is a section that I just really wanted to capture in the Lego model itself. You've got this turbocharger sections there, and also down there you can see the orange representing the wiring for the electric motors itself as well, buried deep inside, as you can see. Just showing how Ferrari is so committed to having good handling characteristics for their cars with good weight distribution. Weight distribution, of course, being ever more important in a car that's a hybrid, which of course is going to be heavier than your regular car. Now this red section here I said is a heat extractor, and you can see I've used this sort of curved piece which leads into this opening inside the engine bay, which makes sense, of course, given that we want to extract the heat out of the engine bay itself. Then here at the rear, like I said, we've got 3-pillar design, and that's very important with having this little red section here, and then the singular exhaust in the center, which was a bit complicated because I wanted to get the additional details of the top and bottom compared to the brick wheels design. So I had to use some panels there, which made it a bit more complicated than I wanted, but I was happy to be able to fit everything in, including the engine details still behind it. Then we've also got the 2 lights on either side, the black strip, and this sort of section here, which is just the body panel, which kind of makes it look like a subtle spoiler, but of course we know the retractable spoiler is there. Finally, let's talk about the passenger cabin. So this is, of course, another section where there is quite a characteristic design in the Ferrari 296 itself. You can see here the A pillars are actually blacked out, and that's to give this car this sort of visor look. right? The windscreen being this continuous wraparound section here. I found it interesting that despite the wraparound look, they've gone for these sharp corners on the top of the roof, which I think gives it this distinct design. It's reminiscent to me of the designs of the Zagato design house, and I like it. I think it's a bit jarring in a good way. And it's distinctive. And so if you prefer something that's a bit more rounded off, you can look at the design of the 296 GTS. For the foldable roof, they've gone for something that's a bit more rounded. But for the GTB, I like that they have this sharper design here, and it fits really well with the Speed Champions windscreen. As you can see, I've taken the windscreen from the Ferrari F8 Tributo set, and I've just erased the prints on the sides, the front, but I've kept the print on the top. And the sharpness of the edges here just really mimic that of the Ferrari 296, which I was really happy about. I did resort to some stickers here to create that sort of nice shape at the ends of the windscreen itself. So I have this little red sticker, which I've got these stickers just from spare Lego sets. I don't put stickers on a lot of my Lego sets, and I've got some extra red sections which I've just cut out into this triangle at the corners, which I've made to line up to the edges of these pieces here, as you can see. And then I've cut out this black section here, similarly to continue the windscreen as well. Very similar to the stickers you would get in a normal Lego set from Speed Champions. And similarly, I've also cut out a sticker for the Ferrari logo at the front as well. Now, let's talk about the minifigure accommodation. So this is a GTB model, a Gran Turismo Berlinetta. And so it's a vehicle that's meant for grand touring. And I wanted to make a vehicle that's comfortable for two minifigures, as I normally do. But especially for someone with a thicker hairpiece. It's always very difficult to fit in minifigures with thick hairpieces using the Speed Champions windscreens. If you're making a custom chassis, you can see here at the bottom, it's a very flat underbody of the car. So the space that I have is really limited. And yet I was still able to fit a minifigure like this lady here, who has the thicker hairpiece. And I'm just gonna pull her out. You can see it's a full minifigure. And here we've got the driver as well. And if I just take him out, you can see another full minifigure, and you can see the bench style seating there to maximize the space in the center of the car. It's just under 5 studs wide in there. I think it's about 4.5. And you can see this section has a slope and this section doesn't, just because it's to fit the thicker hairpiece of the lady. And then here, we've also got just a very simple design of a steering wheel and a dashboard. And this section is just color blocked so that it looks nice and clean. Now, as well, in the front of the car, I've got a bit of storage. So if I just turn the car around, we can see I've got a phone piece and also a little suitcase to fit in for those weekend away trips as well. So this is the Ferrari 296 GTB. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this mock, and I look forward to seeing your feedback, and I hope you guys look forward to the next one. Cheers.